What's up, brownies? This is just going to be a quick neurodivergent rant straight off the top of the dome. You can call it freestyle if you want to. So there's not going to be all of the editing and the receipts and the clips in this one. I hope that it doesn't fall on deaf ears. And even if you disagree, I hope that you at least consider what I'm getting ready to say, because it's not going to be pleasant to the ear. Also, for those of you who are back looking for the sequel, basically, to the Malcolm Jamal Warner and all of the other receipts that I have, that's still coming. I'm just simply waiting on Tanisha to accept or reject Pam's offer so that we can be done with this and wrap it up and put a bow on it so that I can really expose everything, basically. But in the meantime, between time, while we're working on that, I'm not going to be before you long. I just want to give you some food for thought on the EYL situation, which is this. The way you constantly forgive prominent black men for their mistreatment of you is attached to your fatherlessness. Yeah, that's going to sound crazy, because there's going to be a handful of people who are going to say the black community is not a monolith and you can't paint us all with a broad brush. And I had a daddy and my dad is in my life and so forth and so on. And let me just go ahead and pivot from that, because I'm not talking about on an individual basis. I'm speaking in general. Your community in general is pretty much fatherless. And just in the same way you have made excuses for your father and his absenteeism, the way he doesn't show up for you, it's always somebody else's fault. Your mama was mean. She was jealous. She was, your grandmama was mean. It's always somebody else's fault. You never really fully hold him accountable, because you feel as though your mother having a backbone or holding him accountable is what sent him away in the first place. And so if you can just look at him and say, there's no excuse for you never getting me anything for my birthday, or not showing up when you say that you would, or having children out here and not supporting them financially, whether you have sexual access to their mother or not, there's no excuse for that. You'd never put your foot down in that way. Like you won't do that. And so the way that we constantly make excuses for men who go out of their way to demean, disrespect, and devalue you, like, I think that is something that was trained at home. It starts at home, like it's a part of your culture, that if a black man is prominent enough, like if he's successful or popular enough, you just cannot seem to hold him accountable for anything that he does. You all are still out here defending Diddy, Tory Lanez, R. Kelly. It's just, no matter what he does, it's not really his fault, ever. And that's crazy to me. And I think it's linked to your fatherlessness. You never really hold black men accountable for doing the exact same thing or something far worse than even black women do. Like, Chrisette Michele is the only person whose career was like really just completely torn apart for accepting a gig, not even supporting the man. She never even met him, never even had a conversation with him. But in comparison to her, I want somebody to drop in the comments and make a list of every black man that you can think of that either did the same thing, performed for him, or even worse, met with him, or worst of all, like promoted and voted. You understand? You see how they're not held to the same standard? And I just think it's very odd. But also, I'm just going to end right here and land my plane right here. It's not just the fact that you hold black women to a different standard. This is the part that really bothers me. You will give the degenerates and the derelicts of your community, the ones that disrespect, dismean, and discount and disregard you, you will give them more respect and more forgiveness than you do the actual fine examples of your community. You understand what I'm saying? I don't know Kev on Stage or Belief in Fatherhood or Anthony O'Neill or Kier Gaines. I don't know these people personally, But I do know at the very least they're not out here creating bastards, baby mamas, and broken homes. And I promise you, if and when somebody like Anthony O'Neill says something about, misspeaks or whatever, or if Kev on stage talks about beating meat and all of this other stuff, or the fact that he doesn't prioritize hating gays with you, you all are pitchforks and torches and screaming cancel people for misspeaking. But the folks who actually sell the drugs, that are going to jail, who are actually creating the bastards, baby mamas, and broken homes, or who are actually scamming and so forth and so on, you'll have all of the excuses in the world for them. You'll let people like Darius Cooks disrespect Tabitha Brown, Kitchenista, Sonny, unprovoked will attack black women. And this is the same man that scammed so many of you. Took your money for the events, never gave it back. Took your money for products, never delivered, so forth and so on. A man that has a grand total of 0 successful businesses. Every restaurant, everything that he's ever touched, it's now defunct and failed and all of that other stuff. And yet and still, this is the person who can give unsolicited business advice attached with insults to a woman who hasn't done anything to you and then get tabbed. She can say one thing, you all went out of your way to misunderstand what she was saying. And now there's your pitchforks and torches. I will never understand the destructive attachment that you have to degenerate men and for men that disrespect you. I don't want you. I don't need you. The fake facade of Black collective uplift fell off to reveal the real face of just yearning for white validation right before your very eyes. And he can give a half-hearted BS forced air quotations apology and all is forgiven. Still 1.6 million plus on YouTube and IG. Y'all ain't going nowhere. You ain't going nowhere. It's enough for you. That's crazy. And lastly, y'all let people who tell you that you can host an event that brings in over 30,000 this year and over 20,000 for the last couple of years, and you still didn't even make any money off of it. And these are the people that are giving you financial advice. Child, I simply cannot. But I'm not going to belabor the point because half of you are going to go out of your way to not get the point anyway, which is why this is just a rant. Y'all be blessed.